Throughout this challenge, I was thinking that this is going to be a good journey. This is going to be a lot of fun, especially in the beginning. I'm hyped, I'm ready to master coffee. But I'm not going to lie to you. I've thought about this a little bit because I've kind of gone down this rabbit hole before with other various things in my life. And there could be things that I may not like about myself. And the coffee drinker that I may become because of this whole challenge. So I do have some talking points, and I do just want to talk to you about them. So here we go. The coffee accessory chaser. I went through it quite a bit last year when I was getting coffee maker after coffee maker after coffee maker. I could blame it for the site, I could blame it for content, I can blame it for anything I want to. But at the end of the day, it's my fault, it's my own doing. I'm the one who paid and purchased those devices. I'm the one who tested them. I'm the one who was hyped in the beginning and then slowly started to get a little angst with some of the gear, as I've talked about and will continue to talk about throughout this time. But this one's a little different. I think for the most part, I got the gear situation handled. I think so. But one thing that I've noticed with this whole thing and just kind of analyzing it a little bit more is that there's plenty of accessories out there for coffee. For one, filters. Filters is accessory. Is it needed? Yes. I think most of the time it is. But it's one of those things to where it's like, okay, what's next? What's next? What's next? For instance, I just bought some fast filters. So with buying those fast filters, they have other accessories that you can buy in order to increase the flow rate and all that shit that we're going to be testing and all that, right? What else is there? What about water chemistry? What other kind of products do I have to get for that? What other aids or whatnot did I have to buy in order to enhance my coffee? I think about that all the time. And I don't want this to be that type of channel. I want to just be able to provide information and it's helpful to you. You could use it in your day-to-day, so to speak, things, right? So that's one thing that I don't want to really get down to. But if I need to, I will. But I will try to check myself. And if you think I'm going a little crazy, check me too. I'm not above anything, right? So let's move on to number 2. The recipe prisoner. I think for the most part, I don't really give out recipes like that. I like recipes. They're easy. They're replicable. They are something that we can do each and every time. It gives us a gauge. It gives us to see we're performing something right. But there are some recipes that just work. Tried and true recipes. I want to try those. I want to try my own recipes. But I don't want to be bogged down by chasing this ultimate mythical recipe. Some recipes work just because they are what they are. And I think by us diving into grind size, water chemistry, even filters, and more importantly, actual coffee, I think that's going to give us an understanding of probably being able to just use what we have as much as we can, and knowing that the recipe is not so much the ultimate factor. I do hope that I am able to get sweetness and acidity all together, depending on the coffee, of course, through a couple of recipes, not like 10 or 15 different ones, but we'll see. At the end of the day, we're just putting everything out there. And I want to be able to provide you information that is going to be of help. And hopefully we come to the conclusion that any recipe works. But we have to see. But again, I don't want to go too far into that rabbit hole. But I guess that's this whole experiment of just going really deep into the rabbit hole, so to speak. Okay? I think the next one's going to be not patient enough. 12 months is a long time. 12 months is a short time. And as we go through this and kind of see the experience that we're going to go through, realizing that each and every day that I talk about this or do something towards it, it's going to get us closer to our goal. I would like to be in the journey part of this more than the final end product. We're going to get there, I think. But realizing that being patient with this whole thing is going to serve me right and to see all the things that I'm trying to do. And this more than likely, and it's not going to be the only thing that I do towards this channel, this whatever this may be in this way for you. So I just don't want to feel like I'm rushing this, that I am not taking this seriously. Because ultimately, I think this is going to help out a lot of people. So we'll see. And I think that takes me back to the next step, which is our next talking point. Being burnt out because of the intensity, the struggles, the things that I'm going to go throughout this whole process. As much as I can. I know I can be burnt out in this actually rapidly, quickly. And some of the things that I will do is I'll just probably just see if I can just step away. You probably won't really notice it because of the way that I actually record this, film this, and do all these, but I'll try to be more present when I actually do put things out there in the comments and all the things that you know how to reach me and all that. But I'm going to be honest and objective and trying to figure things out the way they are. And I need to figure out different coping mechanisms, things to solve my burnt outness, so to speak, if that makes any sense. Because at the end of the day, I'm human. And sometimes I can get too intense with the things that I do, the goals that I have. And when I go really deep into things, I tend to eventually burn out. So I have to see how much that I can pace myself in all of this. Just the other day when I put out my first or second talk about this mastery thing, somebody came out here. He's a commenter. He always comments. I love his insights. So different than a lot of things that people were talking about. But he was like, it's an ag product. It changes throughout the year. Just make the damn coffee and move on. That's what he said. And when you really think about that, you can say that about anything in life. You can say, you're just running. Just run and get done with it and move on. You're reading. You're just reading. Read the story and move on. But, we're talking about coffee here. So, and what he said makes sense. It's just coffee. It's just something that you're never really going to perfect, right? Because of those changing variables. And one of the biggest things that I've realized, at least for myself, is that it's one of those things to where my palate is changing. My palate is not the same. My palate tends to lean one way over the other for reasons that I have explained or things that I don't even understand why it is what it is. And I think that's the part that kind of scares the shit out of me, is that no matter how much I try to push myself on something so complex, something that changes all the time, it's like that rainbow that you can never really get to. But I want to chase it anyway. You know? I want to make more things than just what I've been doing. I want to understand coffee to the point to where I get it. Probably I should do it over a lifetime. Probably a year's too ambitious. Probably even doing this whole thing doesn't even make sense. But I just want to put myself in that situation to where I see it through. Even if it is just making a cup of coffee and enjoying it the best way that I can. That's kind of like where I'm at right now. So it does make sense. It's just coffee. You're just drinking coffee. So it's just coffee. But let's try it out anyway. But do realize that there's other things in life that are going on, happening, or whatever. But at the end of the day, I'm just trying to control the things that I care about, that I actually can put a pulse on. And that's kind of like where I'm at right now. So it's still a good comment and something that I'm going to keep in the back of my head. And I'll probably get more comments either like that or whatnot. But it's all good because at the end of the day, I want to know if I'm crazy. I want to know if I'm thinking about this logically. If I'm not, I'm not. But, that's kind of like the things that I'm trying to do in order to really try to understand coffee. Because at the end of the day, I'm talking about coffee. I love coffee. And it's something that we come here for coffee. So, yeah, I don't know. So, the last one. And I think this is the most important one. Something that when I was jotting down the notes of thinking about what to talk about and everything, is that the drive, the intensity, the amount of care and attention to detail that I will have with this, how much I'm going to be focused on this whole thing. I wonder if this will change my whole relationship with coffee. I do think about the good things of how this can change my relationship with coffee. But truthfully, we're talking about the bad things, the shit, the things that we probably don't really think about when we go too really deep into the rabbit hole of things. I did this when I was in college. I'll give you a quick story and we're kind of conclude from there. In college, I was big into cars. Love cars. Had a 240 SX. If you know, you know. K24. I went ahead and souped that up. Put a turbo on it. I even had some friends that had some 240s. We had some sports car club and all that stuff. I did anything and everything. I delved deep into it. I researched turbos. I put a turbo in the car. I got different parts around town, around America and all that stuff. America. I did some autocrossing. I don't think I did any road racing in it. Probably would have broke the car. Who knows? But I delved deep into that whole world. I was like fixed. That's the only thing that I can think about. Cars. In the span of 5 years, I did everything to that car. I even sold it. Somebody blew up the engine. Went ahead and got a Miata. I got another BMW, whatever it was. And after that time, A car was just a car. It was an instrument. It got me from A to B, point A to point B. It didn't do anything for me. It didn't excite me anymore. And I wonder if that will happen with coffee. I wonder if it'll just be a beverage that I just drink or not think about or care about. I wonder if I will continue on in my coffee roasting business because of the angst and the turmoil that I may get from this whole challenge of mastery, because of how focused and driven and how I usually get intense when I have that tunnel vision of things. I wonder how my relationship with coffee will ultimately change for the bad. And that scares me. That really does scare me. And as I sit here and think about and ponder about all the great things that's going to happen, I do think about that. I do think about how this passion, this hobby, this love, this business, this thing that I love to talk to people about, talk to you about, will just be nothing. Because how much I focus and get that myopic view on things. I do think about that. So I don't know how to remedy that, if that makes any sense. I don't know how to combat that. I may just let you know that I'm going to take a pause here and there because I don't want my love for coffee to be suffered because of trying to master it. Again, that sounds kind of crazy and bizarre as I keep thinking about this each and every day now. Master it. I don't want that to be of no use to me. So yeah, this is me, Oki at Everyday Beans, talking about things that I like about coffee, things that I don't like about coffee, and things what I don't know the unknown of this. And we're going to see. So that's what I got for you. Let me know what you think. If you have any questions, comments, anything, it doesn't matter. I'm here. Talk to you later. Bye.